Hello, we're now joined live by Tony Llama. Tony, how you doing?
Actually, this is not Tony Llama. This is brother, Edward Longhorn.
Sorry, Edward. Hi. Longhorn. Shouldn't your last name be Llama?
No, my name is Longhorn because we had different fathers from different mothers, north of 60.
I see. Now, we're going to talk about your involvement or knowledge of a property manager named Pat Robinson.
Yeah, I had some experiences with her up north, across the vast horizons of Nunavut. Yeah, those were some tough times. We were living about, 2 million prairie dogs away from the next residential settlement.
Wait a minute, prairie dogs, 2 million?
Yeah, well, prairie dogs is just one of our native measuring formulas. Like for distance. So if Jimmy Raccoon threw his spear a little high over the caribou, we'd say you gotta throw that a couple buffalo legs higher.
Makes sense now.
Anywho, Pat, she was a rough tumbler. She'd always come in saying we didn't have the rent and she'd have to drive such a long ways through the cold. Then I'd have to tell her, it's being delivered by sled from the northern parts of Ontario. Then we'd try to give her a contract in the trust of Two Rising Moons. We'd call it Two Rising Moon Realty. And those sled operators, they weren't easy to negotiate with. We'd have to give them a couple crates of alcohol, 2 6 of 40. And then they'd come graciously.
Yes, of course. I heard about these things before.
Pat, she was with the Scottish militia, the St. Paddy Pattersons, and then they didn't take kindly, so they called us rent dodgers, and they wanted to fight us. And, then they'd threaten to confiscate our PlayStation and our hockey sticks. So we were in a little bit of trouble, right? So we just made a couple calls to the west, and Jordan Tutu received word. And then with the speed of a heroic eagle, he was able to gather a man named Robert. And Robert, he's part of a group called the Redbone Reservation Rowdy Boys.
Oh, the RBRB. Dangerous, very dangerous organization.
These guys, they sell, everything from good shin pads, helmets, elbow pads, Easton hockey sticks, and crack.
Crack cocaine.
Yeah, they get synthetic crack from underground laboratories in Ethiopia. Basically, these guys are so skinny they can't handle themselves. So what they do is they get a squadron of Ethiopians. They get 10 of them to sort of join together and put a big trench coat on. So it looks like one really big guy. They call him the Ethiopian Trench Coat Transporting Cartel.
It sounds very dark and mysterious. Please continue.
And the Redbone Reservation Rowdy Boys, when they come up to the cabins of the St. Paddy Pattersons militia, because when the door gets answered, they're swinging badgers and they got muskrat bombs. And Robert was there too, and he was wearing his Wolverine boots. Couple kicks from that, and it feels like Jean-Claude Van Damme with bad constipation, and you're really sorry. Sit in the penalty box for 5 minutes in a game.
So you got your dispute figured out?
Well, that's right, we did, because that's the court of law in the north of 60. 60 of 40 and a 40 of 60.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, you will soon learn the ways.
So what have you done with the extra money after you've been able to sort this out with Pat?
Well, of course, we got an ice rink and a Zamboni, lots of new hockey equipment, and shit ton of bannock.
Very nice. This has been me talking with Edward Llama.
Fucking Longhorn.
Sorry, Longhorn.
Fucking busty with a bobcat.
Easy now.